Yo, what's up, everybody? Heck Shy here, whatever you call me by. And today we're gonna be giving you a DNF Beginners guide. And Stream's been requesting me to make this for a while, but I wanted to figure out the game first and understand everything before we go ahead and make the content. So before starting off, I just wanted to ask if you could click the subscribe button because it really does help out. I haven't been uploading that much and stuff like that just because school, college, after my update video had, and morale in general. But y'all subbing, y'all liking, comments, all the discussions we have down there really does give me the morale to do better, and I really appreciate it. I was drawing on my thumb for a second. But yeah, if you could do that, leave a like, comment, that'd be really appreciated. But yeah, standard YouTube practices aside, let's get that out the way. Recommended before going into this video that you at least play through the tutorial that's offered within the game. You can hear the music in the background, DNF Duel, of course. They do have a pretty decent in-game tutorial. It's actually a pretty good one for what it's worth. Aiding offered it. It teaches you enough about the beginner rudimentary of the game so that you can at least know about your buttons, your mechanics, and stuff like that. This guide is going to be more of a follow-up to that, explain some of the things a little bit deeper to really push you into playing the game. The beginner guide itself teaches you what the game is. This is teach you how to play it, if that makes more sense. So think of this like EX tutorial or an EX beginner's guide. But jumping right into it, first and foremost, we're going to talk about the system mechanics. There's some hidden ones, and then there's some forefront ones. And I think easiest way to start this off is to go into the big game changer that everybody's talking about, the guard button. So first, let's just go ahead and boot up the game. So for those that are looking, we're in the game right now. Let's go ahead and boot up practice mode. And I'll just pick my mains on the screen. And again, it's somewhat scripted. I'm not gonna high edit like I don't really do high editing for anybody new here or being directed this, but I did have some key points I want to cover at first. So let's talk about the guard button. Pretty big thing in this game. So let's default everything just so we can all get used to it. The guard button is pretty unique in the fact that it's instant, right? You can hold it, you can stand from crouch to stand, everything like that. You can't move during it, but you can jump. Important thing that's not listed in the training mode or in the tutorial is that your jump actually gets slower when you jump out of guard. So you have to let go of guard if you want to actually jump faster. It's not a noticeable difference like to the eye, but it's a frame apart. That difference does make the big numbers and like a lot of like close contact situations. But yeah, firstly, let's talk about guarding. It blocks high, low. You can do the standard. You can't be crossed up while holding this guard. It automatically blocks cross ups for you. So if we change the second character to my boy Grappler and just do a casual like Grappler mirror or something like that, it's actually moves in the game that are we're calling like a guard button check, pretty much to check if they're really holding the guard button or if they're doing the standard walking back. Remember, since your movement is restricted during a guard button, like some strings you'll be able to walk out of, but with the guard button you're stuck in one spot. But yeah, there's moves across the board right now where, like, for example, this move. So, right, block same side, get a little closer. No direction held, I still blocked the cross up. But if I did the same thing, I held down back, it hits me. So it's just a really good guard button check to make sure. The rule of thumb is mid-screen, you should probably hold the guard button. But there are reasons to not do that. So something important to bring up is that during your guard button, you can't actually tech throws. So you are actually just susceptible to being thrown at all points when you're holding guard. And there's nothing you can do about that. So I have a throw macro here set. And No matter how well I try to time it, I'm gonna get thrown. Because throws are untechable while holding guard. But if I do the same thing, I tech out. So yeah, that's just a big thing that the tutorial did not bring up. So yes, the guard button is weak to throws. So this whole game is about strike versus throw. So like, am I gonna press the button or am I gonna throw you? And this kind of removes it because you're gonna get thrown if all you do is hold the guard button when somebody's near you. And for a character like Grappler, who I play, who has command throws, you're already stuck in one spot. So now you can't even tech these throws. So now you're adding another throw that he can hit you with, which is really dangerous. And of course, you know, very, very difficult to avoid. But yeah, a big thing about defense in this game is knowing when to guard with the guard button and when to do it manually. Personally, a good tip I can give is generally mid-screen you guard with the guard button, as there's a lot of cross-up moves in this game, and like absurd hitboxes like this, it's don't know what side that hit on if he blocked at all. Like I have no idea what side this is gonna hit on. Oh, that was same side. That was very obvious, but like there's mad ambiguous. Like this recording could probably hit cross-up if I just take a step closer. Yeah, that was cross-up. And that was same side. So mid-screen, it's generally better to just guard with the guard button. You're not going to be able to walk out of pressure a lot, which is a downside. So sometimes you want to switch to regular guard. But in general, getting thrown mid-screen doesn't really lead to much across the board. So it's usually fine to get thrown and go back to neutral. In the corner though, when characters can still press their advantage after throw, it's actually better most of the time to just guard with regular block. Even if they take their advantage and say like run up and try to throw you, like it's still a lot safer for you to try and just take the throw normally, because otherwise you're just getting caught. So yeah, that's kind of how I approach guarding with the guard button right now. But there's more to talk about, of course, with this. It's not that bad to take the throw anyway mid-screen because you get access to the conversion mechanic, which we'll talk about it, I swear. But yeah, the conversion, getting all white health from a throw means that you might gain access to some really important stuff. But on to the next, let's talk about more of the guard button, something else it can do, which is dodge rolls. Dodge rolls they're frame 3 invincible across the board, and they're fully strike and projectile invincible once they start up. The interesting thing about the rolls are that they actually kind of suck defensively, if I'm being honest. As like not only like they're really slow in recovery, if I'm being honest, but they're actually only projectile strike invincible, which means that they are still fully open to being thrown. Again, this button is weak to throws across the board, while Grappler's kind of popping off back there. One sec. But yeah, it's a big thing of just knowing that like rolls are still throwable all the way through, and it's a common thing for them being weak to it. Interestingly enough, though, I tend to use rolls in neutral as like a means to like get through the really big buttons in the game. So somebody will do like the really big buttons, like maybe Crusaders buttons, Lancers, or Vanguards. I mean Vanguards, launchers, you know, stuff like that. You can roll through those buttons and press an advantage afterwards. That's usually the better spot to use them, and it even allows you to punish sometimes. For me, at least, as a grappler player, I usually try to roll forward on like guess or read to buttons, because once he's in your face, you're guessing, and you know that's just a really good advantage. Now, just a quick mention, there is one role in the game that's different from the rest, and that's Enchantresses. Hers is actually frame 4 invincible, but it's fully invincible, so it can't be thrown, and it has some more recovery on it, and more invincibility frames. So yeah, it's kind of dumb. But let's go into the next mechanic. So go ahead and explore this real quick. We're going to talk about guard cancel. So it sets the opponent to guard all and guard cancel always. So for 100 meter, you're able to cancel any block stun at all. Any block stun you're in, you can cancel it instantly into guard cancel. Fully invincible, completely strike immune, completely projectile immune. It does have the same issue as before. It's not throw immune. And that's a common theme in this game, strike throw. You can throw those and somewhat on reaction. And the thing about them is that they're not homogeneous. So their startup, their active frames, their range are completely different. So we have the bottom of the barrel guard cancels like his, which goes nowhere. And then we have the cursed ones, which let me just show y'all here on what like a real guard cancel in this game, like the best one can look like. And it's a very big range, so you kind of have to learn everybody's guard cancels. So his is just a sin. Yeah, that big attack is his guard cancel. So from here, you can still get guard cancel. From max range 5B, guard cancel. It's a very crazy thing for him. Then there's also like launchers who her guard cancel is actually a low. So they're not homogeneous. So just remember, take that into account. Remember, it costs 100 mana to do it, so you have to make sure. And a big thing you'll learn is that baiting guard cancel by either just doing a button that recovers fast enough that it can't be guard canceled against. Like as you seeing here, I did jab and then I blocked and he guard canceled and it still didn't matter. Or and it's really hard to show against computers, so I'm actually gonna record myself doing it. So like so, let's say does it against a regular human. Oh, I didn't do it long enough. Let's turn this off. Guard only the beginning. Like that. And let's say you try to like delay your guard cancel. Counter hit. This is because the input for guard cancel is actually the same as conversion. And if you don't have any meter for conversion, you just get throw. So you just get hit. There's really nothing you can do out of it. I can give myself some white health so that y'all can see. And we'll talk about this more down the line. But yeah, this is a big thing. You'll get hit out of trying to guard cancel. So yeah, just remember that. Let's do it one more time. I did the wrong input this whole time. So that's a correct guard cancel, and let's delay a little bit more. You got hit. We'll talk about this RPS in this situation a lot more down the line. Just remember, guard cancel is tied to the conversion input. My controls weren't defaulted, so I actually kind of mixed myself up. But that's a big reward, and I swear we're going to talk about conversion at some point in this video, but I'm actually saving it until I cover a lot of the base mechanics that lead into it. But either way, forcing your opponent to convert and potentially punish it on startup is sometimes even bigger reward than just throwing them on startup or the conversion, or throwing the guard cancel, or stuff like that. Again, guard cancels are your only defense against true string pressure. Because you can do it at any point during block stun, it's really important to get out of guard breaks. And the tutorial covers guard breaks pretty well, so I'm not gonna sit here and like dwell on it the whole time. But just know that you can't block forever in this game. Everybody's guard bar is actually a different value, and over in the description I'll go ahead and link your guard bar values for your specific characters. Just go ahead and learn that, how much you can block, how little you can block. For example, Swiftmaster has the lowest guard in the game, and then Crusader has the highest. So but once your guard breaks. They get a free hit, and sometimes like an entire guard break sequence where you block something and you lose all your health, that can eat 70, 80, even sometimes like your entire guard bar can get taken away. And if you get hit by that, you might just lose a chunk of health, or you might just die. So I don't know how many of y'all have seen it, but there's this funny Twitter clip of this happening. Volume's kind of OD, but let's just look at what happened. And of course, this is a beginner's guide, so I'm not really gonna go in depth of how to do this. But let's make sure y'all have understanding just how important micromanaging your mana and using guard cancel, having access to it is in the higher level of play for this game. Yeah, and then more stuff happened here, but the big thing for this, at least, is the fact that yeah, there was nothing you could do to get around that. That was all true string, and this is all because of the lack of guard cancel. If you want to have access to guard cancel, you have to micromanage your meter really well. So a good idea is don't overspend your meter if you don't have to, so that in case you ever get put in a defensive situation, you can still have access to guard cancel. So I should probably explain how mana works while we keep speaking on it. And assuming you've been through the general tutorial, you have a basic understanding of the fact how mana moves work, mana special moves. And I'm probably gonna call them M specials or M moves or MS attacks. I'm talking about the same thing for all of those. But something the tutorial doesn't highlight enough is the major difference in mana recovery based on your execution. There's actually a rating system in this game when it comes to inputting your mana moves. And it being easy inputs, the directional, you just press direction and M, the green goods, and the best ones being blue goods. So I'll just go ahead and show y'all right now. I can actually just show you a grappler. It's pretty simple when it comes to this. Let's go ahead and back out. 1 sec. Okay. So let's get back to the game, right? For everybody looking, we have easy input, which if I put myself back at 100 health, wrong one. So let's look at how fast my mana recovers from the blue good, right? That means perfect input. You just cleared it. Green good, it does recover. It's a little bit slower, but it takes some time. And then easy input, it freezes for a sec and then it recovers. They're all different speeds, and you have to work with them in different ways. The goal in this game is to always go for a blue good. It'll take some time, definitely, but with enough practice, you'll honestly get used to it, and you'll get it down. Like, at first I thought it was impossible to get those inputs, but I went ahead and figured it out. Just believe in your execution. Focus on always going for the actual input of the move, even though it's very tempting to do the easy input every single time. But it's, in the long run, worth learning the execution to do the inputs correctly. Okay, and let's keep looking. There's actually some more I want to talk about for this. But this, like, if you do the really clean inputs, the only thing that has to be perfect, honestly, is the last direction and the input. So if we look back at this, even though my inputs are all clean, I had too many downs and I didn't press back and S together. See, so I'm going to keep green gooding no matter what I do. But if I do it like that, my back and S pressed at the same time, I get blue good, even though I held back too long in that input. That was too long. That was perfect. And the inputs look the same, but the input reader isn't showing that I actually pressed back and S just slightly too far apart. So yeah, your inputs can be the exact same, but the outcome can be different between which good you get, just based on how close you press these two inputs together. And that's important. Things like that is really what make or break meter build and mana treatment in this game. And just showing with grappler, and like, I'm not able to get command grabs that much without it. A quick tip for this section though is understand when you need the easy input and when you don't. Even though easy inputs are de facto worse mana recovery than true inputs, there is the benefit of the fact that inputting an easy input actually gives you the benefit of not having to do the entire motion. And for moves like invincible reversals, attack mechanics, and stuff like that, you might not need to do the entire input, or you might not want to, because it'll take too long. This is, of course, most evident with the fact of just being able to do invincible reversals with one input. You know, the big meme right now is one button DPs, one button DPs. That's really strong for this reason. You don't have to block. You don't have to do the DP input, which, being a nerd real quick, you have to press each input for 1 frame for it to work. So it's forward, down, down, forward, plus S. That's a 3-frame input. If you do the easy input, it's just down and S. That's 1 frame DP input, which makes a lot of things easier. 2 more extra frames of leniency means that sometimes if you have to react to someone with DP, you should probably react with the easy input. So yeah, even though you want to regenerate health over time, it's still important to remember. And before we move off of mana moves, another big thing is the way they interact with your white health. We brought this up a little bit earlier, and you know, the tutorial went over how white health works, getting hit by A, B, or S moves, which is this game's equivalent of light, medium, or heavy. And whenever you block S special or M special is when you get white health. And we'll explore this more in the upcoming section on how to use white health and why it's so important to have some. But if you ever actually get hit by the MS move, you lose 100% of all white health accumulated. So again, let's hop back to the game real quick and let's just take a look at his health bar. So we're just going to do a very extreme example just to show like how crazy it is. He has all this white health and he'll keep it on hit, right? You lose a little bit of white health whenever you get hit, but he gets hit by a mana move, 100% all his white health is gone. And that's why like these situations are scary, man. You can't take the hit in a lot of contexts for reasons like that. And even then, this means you won't be able to regenerate that health back because your white health does recover over time, which is an important thing to note. If I restart here and just go ahead and put his health to 100 auto recovery, it won't be that fast in game, of course. So if I do like, and then just default it, he's gonna heal that health over time. So stuff like that, that's so important. But if I do that exact same sequence, but he gets hit by a throw, he'll never get that health back in most contexts. Berserker can actually heal his health, but that's for another day. But make sure to take note that this rule is also extended to invincible reversals. So even at me as the offender, if I had 90% white health and Berserker does his wake up and reversal, if I get hit, I lose all that health. White healths do, invincible reversals do full EX move damage or mana special damage, which means I'm losing all of my white health, which makes doing pressure really scary in this game sometimes. Even though defense is pretty bad in this game, offense can get harshly punished for overextending, which is why DP characters are really strong in this game right now. So, alright, let's also talk about, since we're bringing up mana moves, let's bring up Exhaustion. And you saw it a couple times when I was overspending my meter, and the tutorial actually goes into this pretty deep, but there's just one little thing I wanted to talk about. And that being that the amount of time you're in Exhaustion is actually determined by how much meter you overspend. Like, it's almost 1-to-1. I don't know the exact numbers yet, but there's a direct relation to them. Best way to show this is we're gonna go back to Grappler, and I'm gonna do the same mana special back to back, and I'm gonna overspend, but I'm gonna show it in multiple contexts just to show y'all how long it takes to lose this mana. So back to this, let's take a quick look. Reminder, this special costs 70 mana. So if I do it back to back, I'm overspending 40. Right? One sec. Okay, yeah. Back to it. So if I do this twice, I'm overspending 40. I'm in exhaust for a good amount of time. And as you can see, it's gonna take me quite some time to leave exhaust. And even worse, your easy input and your exhaust input actually overlap. So if I over exhaust with an easy input, it's gonna take longer to if I over exhaust it with a simple input or with a good input. Let's do that again, right? We're gonna do, and we're gonna wait it out. Takes a good amount of time, and I'm still recovering mana slowly. Still haven't got to full yet, and now we're here. Let's do it with a good. And that was green good. We'll wait on it. And we're already back, and we're mana regening. Man, let's hit a blue good and see how good long it takes. Oh, that was bad. Wait. Oh no. I'm not holding it. There we go. Now let's wait on this. And I'm already out of exhaust. Pretty much instantly. Blue goods don't exhaust long. I'm already out right after this, and that's an important thing to note. The exhaust timer and your inputs overlap. So let's do 2 command throws, but this time I'm only gonna overspend about 10 meter. So let's wait till it gets to 60. Let's just wait it out. And we're already out of exhaust. So that plus a good input means we can do things like this. And we're already out. So just, there's a lot of interconnectivity with how mana works with itself and how the spend works and affects each other, which is really big on paying attention to. And just making sure let's double back and show that again, because I think I forgot. That's the spend with all your mana, right? Easy input. I'm in exhaust for quite some time. Easy input keeps me in for a while. This is over exhausting with a green good. Right? And this is over exhausting with a blue good. And we just wait it out. And we're already going to be out of it right now. And in the same way, same variable, if we do this, wait it out, and wait till it gets to about 60 and still easy input, we only overspent 10. This exhaust lasts way less time than we overspent 40. And if we do it again, but with a good input, and wait till we get about there, we only overspent a little bit. And sorry, come back. Let's do it with a blue input. We only overspent about 10, and we're already out of exhaust. So just a cool way to show how interconnected they all are. I think I forgot to show that on screen the first time, but I'm pretty sure I fixed that. Yeah, but okay. We covered all the stuff, and now I think I can finally talk about conversion. And conversion is very similar to Baroque from TVC for everybody who knows it. It doesn't let us do those meme unblockable loads they have from that game, but it does use up all white life accumulated, 100% of your white life accumulated, in order to open cancel any move you can do. And there are some moves hard coded not to be able to be conversion canceled, and it's only DPs or invincible reversals and grabs. Every other move in the game can be open canceled or conversion canceled. And yeah, it's crazy. I don't even have a better way to describe it. So the important thing I want to teach here that isn't covered in the tutorial is just how much you actually should get access to conversion moves throughout the round. So again, let's double back to the game. I'll make him do this, and I'm gonna block it. I now have access to conversion, and this is big, because for a lot of characters who may have issues getting in neutral, having this white health really changes a lot. So let's give myself 1% white health. So I'm at 99% with a percentage of white health. I still get white health cancels. There is a minimum health that it has to take, but even then, it lets you do a lot. And the screen actually does slow down for a second. So like this becomes Things like this, that's actually +1 block now. Instead of being -1, it goes to +1. Just from the fact that you slow down the screen for a couple frames during your conversion. But yeah, whenever you block any special move, so any mana move in the game, even like a move like this, he now has access to conversion until he gets his health back. Sometimes, if they're doing a move that doesn't knock down, they can't combo off of it, like launchers, she has like a beam or like a little projectile that doesn't knock you down but it chips at you. You might want to take the hit just to gain access to conversion and set up really strong neutral sequences. So what I'm gonna have him do is I'm gonna have him actually do this for me, right? And I'm gonna do my armor move through it, and I'll put myself at 100 health so y'all can see just how interesting conversion can be. And of course, it's gonna be more advanced, but it's just to show the ideal. So as you can see, I got hit out of it, even though I had armor, because my lows, or my armor is weak to lows. But look what happens if I do this. Because I got hit, I gained white life, which lets me conversion cancel and go for a punish. Even better, you can do things like this and get a much better combo. Remember, counter hit state buffs all B moves to have more hits done, and H moves at above. So all B, H, and M moves, or B, S, and M moves, all have better hits done, or better properties across the board. 2B's hard knockdown on counter hit, 5B gets more hits done, and then your H's is character development. Your S's, I keep calling them H for Dragon Ball terms, my fault. Your S's get character dependent properties. Sometimes they get nothing, sometimes they get a lot. It depends on the character. And the same with your mana moves. Sometimes they get a lot, sometimes they get nothing. But either way, conversion does a lot. I can even go more into it and just show. And again, I'm not going to turn this into an advanced guide where I show everything. But something really cool you can do is like TK conversion, like jump, then you convert. It stops all momentum. So maybe you keep jumping at somebody, they try to anti-air you every time. So let's go ahead and give them another shot at doing that. So let's say I'm trying to get in on this guy, right? And every time I try to get in on him, he just hits me out there. Nothing I can really do. You can actually bait this if you do something like this. And they see you in the air, but you fall straight down. And sometimes that's all you need to go in for a punish and get your offense started. So there's a lot of unique and cool usages for conversion and things that aren't really being explored. And you know, like sometimes it's worth it. Get hit. And as the mechanic is super open-ended, you'll see a lot of high-level players. They'll do some really cool stuff with it, like really cool. But there are downsides, and I've been hinting at throughout the video. First and foremost, you lose 100% of your white health. Which means, yes, if you're at 1% health with 99% white health, which is almost impossible, you lose 99% white health if you conversion. And in situations like that, it might have been better to just stay back and poke at them so you can heal up your white health. But a lot of people might mistakenly always use conversion when they don't need to. And sometimes you convert and you die to a throw. And sometimes you're pressuring all day. You hit them 24 times. They're about to die. You've been baroque canceling or conversion canceling all game. And then you get hit by a raw DP and all your white health is gone and you die. Yeah, my Berserker has been dying a lot lately. It's something I've been dealing with him. It's a common thing. It's important to know about. But another thing is there is startup on conversion. It's about 3 frames. I showed it earlier how even if they're trying to guard cancel, you can still hit them. And another big thing is you can actually structure your strings in a way where they're guard cancel safe. So those jabs I was talking about doing lights, 5A, 5A, 5A and stuff like that where they can't guard cancel. But you're delaying your buttons just enough that if they try to late guard cancel, they actually get conversion and they get hit on startup. And again, this is worst case scenario sometimes. Like sometimes getting hit by the button probably did less damage than if you are converted because you lost all that health and you could have healed that. And you know, it's a cat and mouse game of trying to read their guard cancel timing and how to play around that to force a conversion. Because sometimes you really can force a conversion from your opponent and they lose so much health. conversion startup is throwable. It's not invincible, nothing like that. So sometimes people just get hit, and there's nothing they can do. Another thing is, and you know, we're talking about cool things you do with conversion, is my favorite right now is if I set him to guard cancel, and this is gonna be more advanced, but this is something I want y'all to like try to pick up. You can actually conversion on reaction and still get out. So it's hard. I'm not even consistent at it yet. But if I put him at random and I just convert only when he does it, you can react to guard cancel with conversion, spend some of your white health to block them and get, you know, potentially your best punish and end the round. And potentially end the round because you got your best starter. Things like that is definitely, oh, my fault. I'm still struggling with the showing people stuff. So just to run through it again. So conversion itself, you can actually do it on reaction to guard cancel like this. So I'll only do it when he guard cancels. So no guard cancel there. No guard cancel there. No, oh wait, that was a little late. But yeah, it's still hard to do. No guard cancel. I did it early, but I'm still plus even if I'm wrong. No downside to converting on block. He still didn't give it. And if I remember the block there, you actually just get a full punish. Like sometimes your best starter and they get hit and they lose so much health. But obviously I'm not getting that right now. So let's just show it real quick on guard cancel always. You can cancel the middle of your move, convert, block, get your best starter, kill them. It's really really good, and it's really worth doing. But yeah, that's generally everything I want to cover in this guy. I might make some more. It depends on the feedback on this and how much you like it. I don't know if y'all like the, you know, this in-person, see me face-to-face discussion I'm giving. I actually do prefer making content this way. I just dropped my controller. But yeah, if this is what you like, just let me know. Go ahead, comment down below. I'm honestly in love with this game right now, and dual maning it is, you know, like playing two characters in this game is giving me like the time of my life. I'm really loving it. Expect more content like this from me soon. Thank y'all for coming through. Peace.